So please join me in welcoming to the stage a true expert in intellectual property law, whose dynamic career spans medicine, music, and media. He's a partner in Lippis Mathias, a global IP strategist, professor, mentor, and voice behind the podcast Intangify. So let's give it up for Matthew Asbell.
Thank you so much, Jack. Really appreciate it. Thank you for having me. On the journey from where you are to where you want to be, you may encounter someone like me. You may elect not to explore in advance the legal risks, the legal obstacles that may fall in your path, and hope that you'll be lucky. And some of you will be lucky, at least for a time. Even if you don't encounter some problematic issues on the way that prevent your success, you still may find that you're not prepared for the success you achieve. A lot of people think of lawyers at the time that they encounter a problem. They think of lawyers as the people to go to when they need to get out of trouble, when they've made a wrong turn, when they've been hurt and they want justice. And it's true, we serve in that capacity, fairly frequently, in fact. I can't even begin to count the number of times that clients have come to me after they received a cease and desist letter, or they were sued in court. Or worse, in my instance, where someone's appropriated their name, their brand, their process, their innovative process, or a machine they've created, their designs, their art, their written materials, or their secrets. These are the things that we protect in intellectual property law. It happens fairly frequently. But lawyers, especially, but not exclusively those in my field in intellectual property law, don't only serve to address a problem when it arises. We can be your partners. We can be there to help you in the planning. We can be there to help you achieve your success and optimize your success. If you involve us early on and regularly in the process, if you involve us as your guides or on your advisory team or even as part of your mastermind group, if we're aware of where you stand today and what you're trying to achieve, we can not only help you avoid pitfalls that you may encounter on the way, we can also help you build your portfolio of rights. We can help you gain valuable assets for your business. And those can also serve as tools if you later find that someone has appropriated your rights, someone's interfering with your success. You'd be surprised how many big businesses, well-known, famous, successful businesses around the world are passive and forget even to consult with their attorneys. Or worse, they determine not to consult with us. Why do you think that is? They determine not to consult with their attorneys. Often that's because of a fear, because they think that the attorney's going to just say no, that that's our immediate response. They're going to get an answer they don't want to hear. I have news for you, which is that today's lawyer can't just be about the law. We have to understand business. And we have to be prepared not to say no, but to help our clients figure out a way to accomplish the goal that they are trying to achieve. So that's what we try to do. But I'd wager that even Jack Canfield has run into legal obstacles, that might have been avoided had he been given advice or guidance at the right time. I've heard from a client who's similarly situated, a client who is a best-selling author and a speaker. And I had been in discussions with their representative for almost a year, making recommendations and suggesting that they hire me to assist them with obtaining foreign intellectual property rights. Because while they had their US rights kind of all lined up, they were worldwide famous. They were famous everywhere. And I knew that sooner or later something was going to come up. So we'll call this person Tina and the representative Ben. Protect the innocent. So I told Tina, gee, you ought to at least seek to protect your intellectual property rights. In the countries where you have market, in the countries where you sell books and you give seminars and you have success. Ideally, it could be broader than that, but at least that to start. But not surprisingly, Tina was busy. Rightfully so, right? She was busy and she had achieved her successes and she was working on her next goals and her next steps. And the concept of dealing with this sort of boring topic of law, particularly in a proactive way, didn't maybe feel so great to her. Maybe it wasn't a priority. She learned that there was a company in Spain. The company in Spain decided to launch a course in the subject area that she teaches, in the subject area that she has written about. And they launched a course and they used her name and they used what she teaches, her materials and her indicia to promote this course. And that's when Ben gave me a call. My first reaction was that was unfortunate. Well, my real first reaction was I wanted to say, I told you so. But it's not a satisfying I told you so. Because yes, it's something that we could have prevented. Yes, it's something that we could have taken steps and been equipped for had we taken those earlier steps I had recommended before. But it's dissatisfying because we're less equipped to deal with the problem, because she's going to have to pay more than she thought she was going to have to pay because of the need to expedite things, because her position, her leverage is less than it would otherwise have been. Fortunately, in her case, we did find a solution. I did have grounds to raise the objection, and we're moving forward in that capacity. But it's a function of not having that ongoing conversation, where you have ongoing conversations with all sorts of advisors in your life. You have a mastermind group, you have team members who you run things by, and it's just that too many businesses will wait. They'll wait maybe even till the last minute. We're about to launch this new brand. Matthew, I need this tomorrow. Yes, I will do it. I will do it by tomorrow. But it's not the best situation to be in. So I'm here to encourage businesses to think about your attorney in a different way, not as just a problem solver in the moment when the problem arises. And I also want to say that while I have many clients that are situated like Tina, larger businesses and very successful international businesses, I also represent small entrepreneurs, new businesses that have just started out. And I do that because probably against what is best for my success, but I do that because I feel like they need someone to be available to them to help achieve their goals and solve the problems that they face. And when they can't afford my services, which does happen unfortunately, I have colleagues in smaller law firms to whom I can refer them, or solo attorneys. I have organizations and law school clinics that offer pro bono, what are called free pro bono services, right? Legal services to help them move forward. I have an organization in which I volunteer called SCORE. And SCORE is an organization sponsored by the Small Business Administration, which provides free mentorship to new businesses and entrepreneurs. And at least that's some way I can get them in the right direction somehow, if I can't help them outright. So my message to you is that have a relationship with your attorney. Let it not be transactional. Consider proactive steps. What could happen by informing people of your plans, people you trust, people that you feel confident and comfortable that you can share that information with, and that will help you strategize for the business using the law. Because that is really what the role of law and the role of lawyers is and should be. So thank you, I appreciate it, and I wish you all the best of luck.